It's like a little rat's nest. Sorry. Those are my children.
All right, everybody. Let's get started. I'm going to be at my computer a lot, and so I'm just going to sit right here. So today's kind of a mixed bag. I doubt we'll even really need a full hour to talk about this sort of stuff, because we're going to talk about it a lot over the next month, really, and probably month and a half or whatever. And so this is just kind of like getting us all to speak the same language about the way the new website's going to work, the way the CRM is going to work. Kind of getting you thinking about some things that you'll have to do. It's going to be a fair amount of homework for everybody if you want to use it. If you don't want to use it, that's fine. You don't have to do anything. And then Frank and I, Frank, are going to basically be working on this website for, 15, 20 hours a week over the next 2 weeks to get it launched. And then we'll probably spend about that much time just working on the CRM side of things. So 2 things to cover, really. One is the new website itself. There's only so much you'll really need to know about it right now. So let's just think about where we're coming from, okay? So the website has just caused me so much angst and anxiety, the existing website, since the day that I started, basically, 5.5 years ago. But this is totally out of date. And I just want us to understand that the way our website functions currently, it's amazing that we sold $230 million in real estate last year. It's amazing that people even go to this website continually. It's just so not working for what we want to do, right? And so
we're just laughing because that house doesn't even exist.
The house doesn't even exist anymore. Yeah. Can't change it. Website's broken. Can't change it. So Sue Barnett, we lost that listing, but it's still featured property, Boulevard Realty. So I guess I just want to say thank you for still working for us, even though we've had this kind of grossly limited marketing tool or whatever. But it's all going to change. And I'm glad that I didn't run with some of the solutions that I would have hoped for 4 years ago, or that I was really gunning for 4 years ago, because a lot has changed in the last couple of years. And not just in the way websites are designed, but particularly in real estate, there's this thing called software as a service, which basically means you're always going to get the latest technology. So Mark and Becky, right around the time they got into real estate, all this stuff was really taking off, especially the way we capture, real estate leads now. So it used to be this very clunky way where you had to go through this multi-step process to register on the site, and then you have to register to see a listing. And basically the way these real estate websites function now is you have a choice. You can kind of browse very passively, or you can sign up, and the sign-up process is instant. And then that's the lead capture. So it's not technically, we do get leads off the Boulevard Realty website sometimes, and it's through this form. And that's kind of the way, whatever these real estate websites used to function, is you submit a form on the I want to buy a home page or whatever. Can't even find where this thing is, honestly. And so now you go to a real estate website, and anything you basically do creates some profile for you, and then that's the lead. That's the floor time, lead, or that's the walk-in, or that's the phone call, or whatever like that. So we're with a company now called Real Estate Webmasters, and the only Houston person, the only competitor I know of who uses this website is Nan Properties currently, and I'm not a huge fan of their website. We have the same back-end technology basically, but whereas they have a kind of slideshow of their best listings or whatever, we're just gonna have a video running in the background. There's some tight stock footage. If you go to our Facebook cover photo, it's gonna be kind of like that. There's no sound. So I noticed this whenever I went to their website is they have you go to the main menu, And first of all, this is so much shit. Like, who's going to go through all of these things to figure out what it is? I'm sorry. Did somebody tell me not to press it? Yeah, whatever. So you have to go through all of this sort of stuff. Now, I don't know if anybody just looking at this can tell me where is the agents section. Like, how do I find an agent? How do I find a person to work with? And it turns out after all of this stuff, it's contact us, and then you keep going, and then tiny there is the team. That's their agents field. And so ours is going to be very different, where we want to optimize it to where people can come and they get to see and interact with the, agents of Boulevard Realty. So that's one thing that we're going to do a little differently. But on all of these, yes, it will have like a typical real estate website, Mark and Becky's, Cynthia's, who else has one here? Kind of like your HAR agent website that anybody has, is it will always have some kind of search box or whatever. But we, and we believed this for a while and we still believe it, is that nobody really wants to come to a website, like a brokerage website, to search for properties. Because if you're that hot in the market, then you are already registered with HAR, you got your HAR app, you're doing the drive mode sort of deal. We just know that that's the way kind of most buyers are. Really, who comes to your website are sellers. They want to find out more about you. They want to find out about listing their house with you. Any leads that we typically get on the Boulevard website, they're seller leads, not buyer agent leads, but you can search properties up here just fine. It'll look just like this. So this is land properties or whatever. So the things that will be similar are, yes, we'll have this search box right here. I just don't know that we'll be crazy about putting our most expensive listings on the front page of the website, because our philosophy is a little different here. Because we know that our average transaction is like $450,000. Can somebody shut that door a little bit more, please? He doesn't have to go away. Just, I can't hear myself. I just don't think that that feels very good if you're the $450,000 seller in Shady Acres. $375,000 seller in Shady Acres to have, Bill's 330 Falwell and 223 Heritage Oaks, or 1819 Southmore or something like that. And so I just don't think that that's going to be our philosophy with this featured listing thing. So we'll have featured agents just like this. They do it randomly, and we'll do it randomly too. The reason for that is years ago I started running analytics just on the existing Boulevard Realty website, and so you can tell which agents they go to first. And so it was always like, Bill first, then Melissa, just because of the sheer volume of signs and everything like that. And then after that, it was just blonde women. It was like Amber and Amanda and Janie Klein and Donna Wright when she worked for us. Like, it was just the blonde women. And so we're not going to go alphabetically anymore. We're going to go random and give everybody a fair shot. Okay. We're going to have our photos and all that sort of stuff.
How do they find you if they're looking for you?
How will they find you? They're going to be able, one of these buttons up at the top, like instead of having this collapsible menu on the full desktop site, it's just going to say realtors, and you go there and it's going to be like rotating right there, but there's a search box where you can just search for your agent's name. Okay. Now Nan Properties doesn't do this either, and I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, because like, how many people here use the virtual brokerage on HAR? What is it called? Virtual office or whatever? You know what I'm talking about? Nobody uses this. Nobody uses this? Okay, so that's fine, because that means that you don't have to learn. I guess that means that this is like new information. So one thing they don't do, that Boulevard Realty will do, is there's going to be rhonda.yourblbd.com. Okay, and what rhonda.yourblbd.com is if she puts that in her signature and agents go to rhonda.yourblbd.com, they're only going to live in the Rhonda universe. They'll never see another agent. They're only going to see Rhonda. Okay.
It's a good place to live.
It's a good place to live. Yeah. But in order for that to happen, they just have to sign in very quickly. Like here, I don't think I have it set up. No, I don't. We'll look at that here pretty soon. But they will have to register, sign in, which took about, I mean, it takes 15, 30 seconds. It's similar to your deal. It takes about 15, 30 seconds just put in your email, put in your name, and that's it. And then I live in the Rhonda universe and I never see another Boulevard Realty agent. All of the listings that I see go to, if I favorite them or I set up my own little search, I want a 3-bedroom, you know, greater than 3,200 square feet in, you know, Houston Heights, Woodland Heights, whatever, then Rhonda sees all of that sort of stuff. It's kind of like your, portal. Yeah, but your portal, you know, people get to it by going into the yourblvd.com website or whatever. Okay, so that's a whole separate deal. We'll talk about that whenever it's actually live, up and running.
Wait, how do they assign themselves to the Rhonda universe?
They click on rhonda.yourblvd.com and they sign in there. They sign in there. Conceivably, they could go to rhonda.yourblvd.com and before they actually enter their email address, then they click on like the Boulevard Realty logo, go back to the home page, and then find their way around to your Field Elementary blog.
What if they're checking out different agents?
If they're checking out different agents, they're just going to go to yourblvd.com is my assumption. So if they just go to yourblvd.com or if they go to a blog post that we share on Facebook or something like that, then they're not going to be tied to any agent.
But if they go to the agent and then they check out their webpage.
So the Cynthia, like this is the agent profile page, your typical agent profile page. Notice this is just Dan Property /agent /Talina. And this is not what I'm talking about. Like if they are just playing around the website and they're just like, oh, I like her name.
But from there they go to her website.
No. We will not, we as a brokerage will not promote rhonda.yourblvd.com ever because that's not fair. But this, everybody's on equal kind of footing here on the profile. So I'll explain, okay, here, this is a better way of explaining it. So you'll share cynthia.yourblvd.com, she'll share rhonda.yourblvd.com, but Boulevard never will. However, when I'm a consumer just at, I'm gonna take you to the very basic shell of the website, which is not in any way complete. We're working on it totally off separate from this. So here, I get to the Boulevard website and I'm just like, hey, I want, give me an address, 223 Heritage Oaks Lane, because I drove by a sign or whatever. So I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I want to find out about this listing. And Rhonda's the only agent we have on here, so that's why she just randomly shows up. But we set up rules, and this is the new floor time. So if somebody says, ask about this property, don't have to put in any of this information. Like I don't have to put in my phone number.
So this is a new floor time?
This is a part of floor time now. Okay. Then like, so this will be the floor time agent. We put in rules for who's in floor time or whatever. This is the floor time agent. And then if they click on do what I just did, then that agent gets that floor time lead. I just got a notification on my watch that Renee Flores registered, and on my phone too. And so because that floor time agent will be in there, then you'll get that notification too, okay? So I can't think of any fairer way to do it. Technically, I could just have it random.
So will it be tied to back agents?
Is it tied to back agent? Yes, in a way. Not directly, but it is. I'm gonna have a zap between the back agent calendar and this one, yeah.
So our experience with the other programs that we have is that people are searching between midnight and 5 a.m.
Yes.
So what happens between midnight
Same
and 5
rules for floor time, where if it comes in overnight, it goes to the last person who showed up for their floor time. Because that 3 to 5 slot, which is typically the last one that people do, they don't get much. And so that's our current rule. If you go into back agent now, we're gonna follow those guidelines. To the last person who showed up for their floor time, if it comes in overnight. And we follow that because you're right. Whenever we do get the leads off yourblvd.com, then they come in midnight, and then when I wake up at 4:30, I forward them to the last person. It's going to function the same way. So Cynthia, I think that answers your question, where it's like if they're just casually browsing the Boulevard Realty website and they are on a listing or just do a contact us form like this, just for general information, hi, I wanted to talk to somebody about what's going on here, then that's a floor time sort of deal. Unless they happen to be clicking cynthia.yourblvd.com, and then as soon as they enter their email address, they're assigned to you.
So they're checking out agents, and then they're checking out agents' websites.
Yeah.
So they haven't selected anyone yet. They're checking them out. They're entering their website, so they have to sign in. So then it's just whoever they pick first to look at.
It's whoever they pick first, or if they come, this is going to be rhonda.yourblvd.com right here, this little section. If they go to Rhonda and decide they're going to click through to Rhonda, that's going to be the rhonda.yourblvd.com website. So they will, my assumption is, and I guess I'm open to suggestions about this. My assumption is that if they, are here and they click through here, they want to work with Rhonda.
Well, I'm just thinking of myself. If I was looking, I would go to each person's website to see what they have beyond what the company wrote for them here.
Right.
Because people's websites tell you a lot about them. I go there. I have to sign in, and now I'm locked into whichever was the first one I checked out.
So the only thing that looks really different is this page anyway. Rhonda.yourblvd.com and cynthia.yourblvd.com will look the same.
Right, but they're going to be locked into whoever they went to first. When they might not have selected anyone yet, they're just checking them out. That's my question.
Yeah, they might shop. They might shop among the Boulevard agents.
So they're doing that under the agents page, would they not be, right?
I don't think that when you go into the agent website, you get logged in. You log in when you sign in to that agent website.
To me, even like for what you're describing, then this is, everybody has one of these. So if they're at the team and they're just clicking around, they're not tied to anybody.
Right, but you go from there and you want to go beyond that. You want to go to their individual website. I've got 3 I'm looking at. I'm going to go to each one of their websites. They're tied into whichever one they went to first, even though that may not be who they're really interested in.
Yeah. I mean, I could undo it. I could just make it not the case.
Like you would send this link to potential leads.
You would just send the link to potential leads, yeah. To me, if they're just browsing around the agent, or if they're browsing around yourblvd.com, it's going to be a high bar to clear for them to get to this rhonda.yourblvd.com. And so I think more often they're going to email, call anyway, which is the same thing as they're attached to you. Then they would go into your top producer. I just think it's not going to be that easy to get to these rhonda.yourblvd.coms. I don't think it's that easy. And
I mean, there's not that many people that actually go that far.
I don't think there's that many people who go that far. And here's another option. We could vote, I guess, where I could just not put those links anywhere on the website. And so the only way somebody's going to get that link is if you provide it to them. It's an option. But to me, this seems, I don't know. The risk doesn't seem that great.
Can we ruminate about it?
Sure you can. That's why this is an open-ended discussion. So I'll think about that. Frank, take a note, please. That we should think about not putting the brand or the agent domains on the website anywhere. So that the only way somebody ever possibly makes it to get locked into rhonda.yourblvd.com is if she provides them that link.
Also, you should at least give the client an option to accept it, just like HAR. In HAR, when you send it to the client, they have the choice to say yes or not.
Well, yeah, and that's basically happening here. Whenever you register, there's a checkbox. It says, do you agree to whatever, that's the only real kind of accept. And they can unsubscribe at any time or whatever. I see what you're saying. To me, the fairest way to avoid that is just to not put it anywhere on the website so that no one accidentally attaches themselves to an agent.
I like the idea of having people's websites on there because then they can look further.
Well, we could still put CynthiaMullins.com on there if you stick with your Playster website, which you probably will. We could still have CynthiaMullins.com. We just won't have Cynthia.yourblbd.com because what somebody does at CynthiaMullins.com is their own business. It's just we're trying to be fair, but we're also trying to generate leads that are attached to people so that a certain person.
I just wonder if there's a different place to put that's beyond them checking out individual websites.
I mean, the only difference between them are just like, you're the only agent that pops up, right? That's the only difference on the website, or is there different content on it?
You're the, you can actually go in and then control if you just want to have your own blogs there and everything like that. You can, that's a little farther down the road. But basically what it does is that then any property they see, you're the agent who is notified of the activity and all that sort of stuff.
What if you had a check mark on each one, instead of it being automatic, there's a check mark that says, would you like to receive more information from Rhonda Power? And then they go to another one, would you like to receive more information from Star Mass? And so then everyone gets a fair shot.
It's the same thing to me though. If they are at Star,
what you described, only the first one they click on gets the opportunity.
It's the first one where they click, not the first profile they click, it's the first agent website they go to, and it says you know, register to see listings here.
But if they're just checking out agents' websites and haven't chosen anyone yet. Because I would go through, I would read everything, and then I would go to each website.
To me, it's just that is choosing. Like when you click rhonda.yourblbd.com after seeing all of the Boulevard Realty website, reading all the blogs, clicking around several profiles, that moment where you, what do they call it?
So I'm a weirdo to go check out
Point of zero. What do they call it? Point of zero. Point of zero. It's kind of like that, but it's like a marketing thing that means like they've made their decision. If they've gone through 3 layers of research and then they get to you and they're like, she's asking for my email address, I'm going to give it to her. That's your customer at that point, you know? And so I don't know that it makes sense to keep throwing agents at them or anything like that, you know?
But most people go to Bill or Melissa right now, right?
Most people go to Bill or Melissa right now. Yeah, but Bill's not going to be in that mix at all.
So how is that going to be?
His go to floor time. And our philosophy, whenever when everybody interviewed with Bill too, what we're trying to preserve is, he says that, and maybe I should have clarified. So your listings, you still only get the leads. Okay, so if you're 1010 Heights, you are the only person who gets those leads. The only leads we're really talking about here are Bill's. And yeah, and other brokerage websites, other brokerages, John Doherty's and Greenwood Kings and everything like that. We have all of the MLS listings. Yeah, we have all MLS listings.
You're creating like a parallel MLS system.
Yeah. It's all MLS listings. We'll only feature the Boulevard Realty listings and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So
Zero moment of truth.
Zero moment of truth. That's exactly what it is. So this is what I'm going to try to work on, is make sure that it's not easy for someone to accidentally get attached to an agent from the profile page, right? That's what I'm supposed to be working on.
Not get attached just because they're checking out.
Yeah, not
just because they're checking out.
If they're browsing.
Yeah, agents and everything like that.
If they're browsing, they don't get attached, and if they're committing, they do.
Okay, sure. There's a way. And what else? What was the other concern you asked?
Well, I guess I still don't understand
Yeah.
really how they if they're browsing through agents and then, you know, they're attaching it to one, if it's the first person they're looking at.
But it's not, because they, like, if we're talking about the Nan Properties website, I could click on every single one of these agents and nothing changes in my world, like at all. The only
I can
thing,
attest to that because I've researched some of those agents.
Yeah.
And I've checked on several.
I could click on every single one of these. I could pick up the phone and call all of them. Nothing changes in my world. It's only if I happen to go to Rosemary Gandusa Glick, and then this is in, oh, look, she does have one. Perfect. This is perfect. Good for you, Rosemary, because not all agents are going to have this anyway. Okay, so I just clicked on the however many agents that Nan Properties has, and I just happened to read her bio, and I love ruffled shirts, and I love pearls, and I really connect with her. And so I decide to finally, after I've looked at all those agents and done my research, and nobody else's bio spoke to me, nobody else was wearing pearls, and I clicked on her website, this is what it looks like, is that it is very clear that I'm attaching myself to Rosemary Gandusa Glick. And I have to find a property in this portal, and I have to say I want more information, and then I'm Rosemary's.
Gotcha.
To me, that's pretty deep,
Oh, so
right?
it's when they, so it's not when they enter their website, it's when they search for a property on their website.
Or, yeah, when they, oh, look at this, look at what I'm gonna do.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna favorite this, and then when I favorite this listing, that's when we go through these whole steps. I don't wanna work with her, so I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna register. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's a pretty far road you have to fall
So it's
down.
not just going to their website, it's taking action on their website.
No, and if I'm Rosemary, then I have this in my email signature, and I have this on my Facebook page, and everything like that, and I'm just saying, search for house, let me find you a house, or whatever. To me, that's zero moment of truth that
Yeah.
I'm gonna work with Rosemary Gandusa Glick.
Okay,
has
I
already-
misunderstood. I
Okay.
thought you said it when they entered.
I didn't explain very well, but this is good. I'm
And
glad
will
that we're
each have
clarifying.
one of these?
You'll have one if you want one. You don't have to have one. You don't have to do anything. Like, we don't have to, like, you'll notice that I thought that Nan Properties didn't even have this feature turned on because the vast majority of them don't do it for some strange reason. But if
But
I'm,
it's a part of it if we want.
it's a
to
part
do
of it if you
Okay.
want it. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Rosemary is a superstar. So let's just go through one of these agent websites for a little bit so that we can see what else is on there.
They find your house.
If they find your house,
Listing.
you get the lead. If they search 3131 Lafayette today and click on it, you
On
get the lead.
somebody else's
Because
thing?
on,
No, I was asking for mine.
No, Laura.
I guess.
See what I'm
If-
saying?
if,
If I'm in Rosemary's thing and I'm searching your listing, does she get the lead or do you get the lead?
you'll get the lead. The way we're having it set up is that no matter what happens across the Boulevard Realty website, unless you're Bill Baldwin, then the listing agent will get the lead. But name a property that's not our brokerage.
What if that person registered only their vehicle?
They just, it won't show up. It won't show up.
But if it's all MLS,
Click on the new website, this house across the street for sale with Keller Williams Memorial, and they fill in my page, then I will get that lead, as buyer's lead, right?
Yes, absolutely you will. But what I'm trying to stick to, is that when Bill tells us another agent will never get the lead for your listing, that is true. And I can only control that for our listings.
you mean another Boulevard agent
Another Boulevard
will
agent
not get the.
will not ever get, they'll never get a lead for 933 West 15th and a half.
Got it.
And so that won't even, it won't show up in their little search portal.
So how do they go find it?
They're gonna have to go back to her. That's the only way I can really do it, is to make it so that when someone's assigned is what it's called in the system. When someone's assigned, then they see Boulevard Realty listings that, because here's the better way of looking at it, is that like I whenever we go in and put in the Boulevard listings, it's automatically assigned to the listing agent. It can never be attached to another agent or whatever. And so if they favorite it, you see it. because they're already attached to you. Okay. I can't.
You want an address of a non?
No, because I want to move on. Because this is a work in progress. I think I understand the concern, but I'm trying to do two things. I'm trying to stick to the floor time rules, and I'm trying to stick to the rule that no other Boulevard agent will ever get another Boulevard agent's leads off their listing. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's the website part of this. I still think our website will be a lot more interesting than theirs will be, just because we have a different sort of content. We're gonna have a lot more videos. They don't have a whole lot of videos and all that sort of stuff. But last things to think about, especially if, this part is rotating, remember. And so if you have the difference between, let's just go to the Boulevard current website. We'll have a non-blonde day, yeah. So there are certain things that just won't fly, and we try to do a pretty good job of keeping your HAR profile up to date with what we have on the Boulevard agent or the Boulevard website currently. But you'll see these photos aren't very uniform, which is fine. We don't necessarily want uniform photos. We don't want everybody to look the same. But Laura Fowler probably wants a photo now. Allison probably wants a new photo now. Bruce probably wants a photo now. Jerry wants us to update his photo, just so they all kind of are about the same quality and that they're about the same kind of framing or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is, Jerry would be this big and Allison would be this big and everything like that. So Thomas is going to send you all a little, kind of guide about how you probably want your photo to be. The safest bet is always a square. If you can get us a square, we can always find you in the middle of the square, your face in the middle of a square.
Do we have a recommendation for who to take?
Well,
we have a couple. It just depends on how much you want to spend.
What if we had the new building?
I want to, but no one ever. No, we are. I want to do a photo day, but no one ever shows up, and then everybody always hates their pictures, and so it just sucks the life out of us. But we are going to whenever we move into the new building.
Have a photographer there one day, and you can
We're going to do it whenever we get to the new
spot or
building,
something.
but we're not going to be in the new building until March 31st. This will be live by March 1st. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're going to have to make something work, and that's all I really want to say about the kind of agent profile part of this is everybody go to your HAR agent website now or soon, okay? And just know that by February 26th, we're going to take whatever is on your HAR agent website and we're going to copy it over to the new website. It's easier for us to take it from HAR than it is to take it from the current site or whatever. So we're going to take this photo. We're going to take all your social media links. We're going to take your bio, all from this website. So we're going to send you kind of like a good photo selection guide. We're going to send you some tips on a bio and all that sort of stuff. But like this, our hope is that you know how to update this and that you have all of this stuff anyway. Because this isn't even platinum tools. This is something that even if you don't have platinum, you can have not this par.com/RhondaPower, but your agent profile, the free thing or whatever. So just know that February 26th, we're going to go in and we're going to take whatever's on HAR and we're going to copy it over to the website. So we'll send you some pointers and we'll help you along the way if you want some feedback on your bio or just whatever. But we just want a uniform kind of process, and the easiest thing for us to do is to go to HAR. If you don't know how to update your HAR profile, that's a little odd. And so we'll help you with that. But our goal is that you would be updating pretty frequently anyway. We don't want you to have to update your profile on the website, even if you could. We just want these things to be in sync. It's kind of relatively up to date. Okay? We'll send out reminders. we're happy to visit about your bio. We're happy to provide you some photographer recommendations, all that sort of stuff in the meantime. And it's not like after February 26th, we're never going to update these profiles. We'll update them at any time on the website, but just for the purposes of making it live and all that sort of stuff, that's, just know that that's basically 2 weeks to do that, okay? Send you pointers on the profile and the photos and all that sort of stuff. Before we get into the CRM part, I don't think it makes any sense if you have CynthiaMullins.com already and you're happy with it, and you have BayouCityLife.com already and you're happy with it. I don't see any reason to get rid of those at all. I would just keep them. I don't see anybody who has an existing website. I think that it's fine to keep all those people in your universe or whatever. So that's all I'm going to say.
It helps you pop up more often.
And it helps you pop up more
so
often.
they'll think that you're more active. And,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So that's just the front end of the website. I did not think I would care about that so much, so I didn't even really plan on talking about that. Because what I really care about is the CRM, which is, again, we're going to kind of lay some groundwork, and then I'll tell you kind of like what your part is in helping us get to this point. So I know Becky and Mark use a CRM, Lauren uses a CRM, Cheryl uses a CRM, Cynthia uses a CRM, Rick uses a CRM, all that sort of stuff. I'll say that again? David Diamond uses one or whatever. And so all of the CRMs run the gamut currently. And that makes it very hard for us to help you use your CRM, because everybody's using something totally different, and they're all like, we have to remember Cynthia's top producer login, we have to remember Lauren's login, all these things. The way Contactually works is very different from the way top producer works, is very different from the way that Follow Up Boss works. And so we think that it's possible that we don't want you to keep Contactually, but we think it's possible for Cynthia to keep her top producer and you to use your Follow Up Boss. What this allows us to do is, like, currently, think about it, for the last couple of years you've been at Boulevard Realty, we have an event or we have something that important piece of information we want to share. We provide you an image and some long blurb, and then we say, send it out to your people. And some of you will say, will you send it out for me? And we'll do that, right? But I think that creates a little bit of a barrier to getting it sent out sometimes, right? Because like Cynthia does, often go into her top producer and do, put in the image and copy it and personalize it and everything like that. So what this allows us to do is make your life a little bit easier, because then instead of having to go into Holly's MailChimp and Lauren's Contactually and Cynthia's top producer for certain things, not everything, but for certain things, if you say, yes, I want you to invite them to my Joysticks happy hour, or yes, I want you to invite them to the grand opening of 927 is then we send all of that sort of stuff out at once. If Lauren's leads are assigned to Lauren, it comes from Lauren, and Lauren has the opportunity to customize. If Bayou City Life has leads assigned to them, they get that coming from Bayou City Life, right? It just allows us to send this stuff out quickly and more uniformly. So another thing that gives us the ability to do, this is another thing that we're guilty of, that we do the best we can, where it's like, it's homestead exemption time, you should send this out to your clients. We are now kind of bridging the gap there. And if we say we have this perfectly crafted homestead exemption thing touch for your clients, is that we can send that out to you. It comes to Susan Hilliard's leads from Susan Hilliard, and Susan at yourblbd.com, and so they reply to her, just whatever like that, right? But we are sending these things out now for you in a more automatic way. And what we really think that's going to allow us to do is, you tell us what you want to send to your clients, and it makes it so much easier for us now. So right now, same thing. We say, oh, if you want to send something to your clients and you don't have anything to say, Maria, go to the yourblbd.com/blog and find an article you like, and then tell us you want to send it to your people. We're going to simplify that whole process now. So everything is just with the click of a button or whatever. So this helps us help you send marketing communications to your clients and your leads a lot more easily. But you have to go organize your clients in a way that you probably never had to organize them before. So a good example is, I know I pick on Lauren a lot, but Lauren does a very good job of keeping her contacts organized and contextually into these things called buckets. In the new Boulevard CRM, then they're going to be called groups, okay? So Lauren has a group of people called long-term leads and a group of people called Camp Gladiator leads, and warm buyers, warm sellers, kind of typical real estate agent CRM categories, right? You'll have something similar in Follow Up Boss or whatever. And so what we're all going to be working on over the next couple of months is getting so intimately familiar with those groups. Like Lauren's very familiar with those groups that whenever it comes time for her to send out a marketing piece, then what she does, she and I have this conversation of, I want this to go to this group, this group, this group. Right now, I have to muster up the willpower to go into Lauren's contactually and, set it up, and contactually is not as user-friendly as I thought it was. That was the original CRM we're going to go with. And it's still kind of laborious. It's just much easier here, okay? We'll never send anything to your clients that you do not ask us to, and we'll never, the way we're going to have the system set up is currently in MailChimp, somebody could be on Jerry's list and Lauren's list and Cynthia's list, but we can't do that anymore. And so at some point, we can't assign, every lead has to be assigned to somebody or to just Boulevard generally, okay? So like Scott McClellan, he's on your list and he's on Bill's list currently. We're gonna have to make a decision soon. Bill, we're moving him off of your list for marketing emails. If Bill wants to invite him to his dinner at Beatty's this Sunday with Shelby Hodge, he's just gonna do that from his email. But in the marketing CRM system for marketing emails, he can only be assigned to one person, so it's gonna be you, right? And so that's the Scott McClellan example. There was another one I was thinking of, but I'm sorry. HEB guy.
Oh, yeah.
HEB guy.
I assure you that because of the way we do open houses in this neighborhood,
I know.
assure you that we are.
Got multiple leads.
There are multiple people.
I know. So here's the other thing we're going to have to do too is we can also just assign people to Boulevard Realty and then wait for that person to attach themselves to an agent. So Ben Ackerley is the guy who started that. He's doing that hotel off 20th Street, hotel, what's his name? Maison Robert. Maison Robert. And so he said, this is a good example because he just emailed info@yourblbd.com and he said, I would like to be added to your list to be notified when new Heights listings come on the market. He didn't request an agent. He didn't ask for anybody in particular. He's a Boulevard Realty lead, right? So I'm going to add him to the list of Boulevard Realty marketing emails and wait for him to attach himself to somebody. So he's going to get some invitation to the grand opening, and then he's going to go to the website, and he's either going to... But we know who he is, okay? Technically, he should be on Bill's list, right? Because they met before the planning commission and everything like that. But I just didn't think it was fair to attach him to Bill for getting listing.
How does he know he needs to go and attach himself to someone in order to get the information he's really wanting to get?
He's going to do that same process that we were talking about at the very beginning. He's going to have to go click around listings. He's going to have to, at some point, favorite something and then enter in his email tied to a listing or an agent.
So he's actually not going to get any information. Well,
he's going to get a very small, oh, say that again? Sorry.
So he's going to get some note like, okay, we received your request and here's the website.
Right now, he's just on this list of marketing pieces that we send, like to the widest group possible. The toast to the new year probably would be a good example, where there are some people on Bill's list that we only send like 1 or 2 things a year to, or whatever. And granted, this behavior that I'm talking about, he only did that the way he did because we don't have the same kind of lead capture thing. So this scenario is kind of squishy. I don't really know what I would do. It just seemed like the fairest thing to do. But if there's somebody who's on multiple people's lists, we're gonna have to decide, do we sit down and determine who is going to, get to claim that person? Do they go back into the agents? Or just gonna have to work it out amongst yourselves, the way you already do?
No, we don't. Okay, because I assure you, there are people that are on Becky's Best Bungalow who are working with Handle, who are working with Start, whatever.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I'm only talking about the Boulevard Realty CRM. I'm only talking about the Boulevard Realty CRM. Somebody could still be in Becky's Best Bungalow Bets and Amanda's MailChimp, because those aren't going away.
But you need both. We both need those people in our CRM.
Right.
Only one person can be able to have it in the Boulevard CRM.
So I think.
So we're gonna fight it out like Hunger Games, who they're gonna go on, who's gonna get the emails from.
Only for the Boulevard Realty CRM. Or the alternative is you keep them on your MailChimp, your Follow-Up Boss, your email list, or whatever. And so y'all all are still able to send messages to these people, but any behavior they have on the Boulevard Realty website remains generic. It's Boulevard Realty. If we want to send them anything, and realistically, it probably makes more sense to not send them anything ever. It's just that if they happen to register in the site, they're not going to be attached to an agent. You can still email them however you want. We're not, as a brokerage, assigning leads and saying, you exclusively represent this person and this person doesn't. There's just no way we can do that. Just the way the software works, we can not have someone assigned to more than one agent at one time. It's either the agent or no one at all. One agent or no one at all. And if
So it's best just to have our own system of sending our own things out besides having Boulevard Realty take care of that for us at that point.
I think that we'll still want to do both. This is really designed to help you decide who you want to be following up with, individually. This whole CRM too, everything I'm describing, this system is not designed to just send out mass marketing emails to people all the time. Really, it's to tell you who to follow up with. You pull it up and it says, I haven't talked to this person in a week, or, I should be sending this person a personal note, or I should be sending them a text or something like that.
So does it kind of stand the same in that, like right now I use Contactually, but when you send out one of like my mass marketing email, don't you always link MailChimp? Okay, always. So even as it stands now with my Contactually, you still have that MailChimp piece. So here it's the same thing, except I want to use this one instead of Contactually. So everything operates essentially for the same purpose in scheduling follow-ups and putting them in different buckets and this and that, right? But then you still have to funnel through MailChimp to send a mass email. So it's the same thing we're doing now, it's just a different CRM.
It's the same thing. Okay. It's the same thing. So.
I don't mean to be a broken record.
No, please. I mean, we have to think through these things.
Because what you're doing is you're forcing people to use 2 CRMs. Because, so I come back from my open house and I key everybody in and I'm going, ooh, I can't get into this one. Somebody else may have that. So I have to keep track of them in a separate CRM because I can't put them in this CRM. Even though who knows when the last time somebody else actually talked to that person. It could be like years. So you see the problem?
That's a perfect example. In an open house, there are 7 open houses. They went to they made DP, they around.
They force to put your name on every
right. And we're all following up with them.
Yeah.
So This is interesting. Okay, so then.
Because you can't bucket in MailChimp, right? You can't bucket in MailChimp.
So I have it's not open houses, but Cheryl and I go back way back. And we have the same sphere of influence because of his attitude and our children. And Alice and I have common people, and Bill and I have common people. So that our sphere is going to be the same. It's going to overlap.
Right.
Me with Cheryl, me with Bill, me with Alice.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I have an idea.
Heights Association or.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I have an idea. I'm making this up on the fly, so just bear with me and know that that's the whole reason we're talking about this today. No decisions are made. No decisions are made about this. This is just as much as I've thought through it in the last 2 months or whatever, and so just bear with me, please. Is what we can do then is anytime we find duplicates on people's lists, and that's why we're starting by just everybody provide us your list and we're going to import it at one time, then for now, we're going to import it. Just please bear with me. This is a work in progress. This is a months-long process that we're going to have to all think through. The whole reason we're doing this is because people were losing business because they weren't following up. And so we have the same goal. We all have the same goal. Is I'm going to put those people in as a team lead. And I don't mean I'm telling you that you're a part of a team or anything like that. That is the one workaround I can think of for right now where somebody can be assigned to multiple agents, is if I have you in as a team. So here's I'm spitballing here, is all the people who work Heights open houses, if you ever do a Heights open house, then you're going to be a part of the Heights open house team. Okay.
That could work.
Okay. We kind of like to create a solution. Okay. And so then, if we're going to send anything to those people, then we could either all send it out through MailChimp or, Follow Up Boss or just whatever. I don't know. But for right now, as we import, and we're going to come across duplicates, then we're going to import them as a team, okay? And some of these teams will be very specific. Kathleen, Cheryl duplicates, something like that. That's our plan moving forward, but we will have to get creative about how we communicate to those people, okay?
What's the name of this CRM?
It's the Real Estate Webmasters CRM. We'll wrap up here pretty soon. God. Whoa, this is just so much to think about, so I appreciate it. So to answer your question, are we forcing people to use 2 CRMs?
If we can't put we have to be able to put every lead in. Right. Because, I may not follow it up with somebody, because, we're going back now, and somebody will pop up in another house, and I look at my CRM, and it's like, wow, that came out through in 2015, and I totally dropped that ball, it's been rolling around before.
Yeah.
But somebody else would have been blocked from putting them in.
Interesting. Tomorrow, I'm going to ask at 9 o'clock in the morning whenever I talk to Real Estate Webmasters again, because all of this is a rule that can be turned off where we can have duplicates. And then that person it could be a husband and wife who share the same email address and they have 2 different profiles or whatever. We talked about but I didn't think that made sense at the time because I thought we would just have people searching, and we're treating them as a different person, but they're really the same person. We can make it so that we can have duplicates in the system. They're all assigned to this.
And because if somebody then leaves Boulevard, they're going to want to take their toys with them.
And they will. They should.
But I don't see a way to avoid having multiple people, having people attached to multiple agents.
Okay.
Anybody else?
So this is perfect. So then, what we're gonna do, what we are going to do is import everybody's contacts then. You have Aaron Flores on your list, you'll both have it, and then we're just gonna send, if you decide you wanna send something out, then we're gonna send it to those people. You understand that those people may get the exact same thing from Kathleen whenever you decide to send it out. That's how is that how you wanna do it?
It's happening now anyway.
Yeah. It's happening now.
Lauren's working, I mean, we're both sending email, I mean, you know. Bill and I are bonding several transactions together, and so he and I are both emailing the same people, both the same sellers and the same buyers.
Wow, okay.
Many times.
I'm just
I try to get my emails out before his, so they'll get mine first.
Okay, fair enough. It's certainly possible. I don't know. I thought, okay, this makes more sense. Makes sense to me.
It only makes
Glad we talked
sense
about it.
if we are the people who actually working,
If we actually were a team. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how several things will work about that, but I hear you. I hear what we're saying. I guess let's wrap it up.
What else do you have?
What did we cover?
We didn't cover anything, honestly, because
What did we not cover that you think is really?
I'll get to that. What's up?
Can you talk a little bit about the features of the CRM? Can you set up drip email campaigns? Can you
Yes.
text message out?
Yes.
Is there an auto dialer?
Yeah, no auto dialer.
What are some of the features of the CRM so that those of us who are using other things have an idea and we want to stay with what we've got, we want to come with this? What are the capabilities?
That's just a longer discussion. I'll go very quickly, I guess. Okay, this is probably the best way to do it, and I'll do it in 3 minutes. The groups are your buckets, or what do y'all call it in Follow Up Boss? Categories, tags, stages. So that's the groups. Tell me another feature.
So drip email campaigns.
Drip email campaigns is called an action plan. And so, well, y'all have action plans too.
Yes.
It's the same thing. There's going to be the Heights buyer action plan. And so they'll get an automatic email. As soon as you enter them into the database and tag an open house lead, it's just going to say, hey, thank you for coming to my open house today. There was something I forgot to mention, and that's if this school is, zone 2, field, which just got the Blue Ribbon Award for something, and then if they don't respond in 3 days, they get another one. It's just like, oh, I also forgot blah, blah, blah. Okay.
So we're assigning those action plans, right? Put them in the CRM.
You're assigning those action
And you
plans.
guys have written those action.
We will write those action plans. Yes. And then there's going to be action plans for haven't talked to this person in a long time or don't remember who they are or something like that. That's this drip campaign, I guess.
Yeah. Can you document? What can you document?
You can document everything.
Okay. And will it stay between phone calls, text message, email, comments, et cetera?
It does, yeah. Okay. It does. There is going to be a very painful part of this process for everybody where we'll have to go through and if you want to have those notes automatically come in, like when you email, if you want them to automatically come in, because everybody uses different email clients, then we'll have to go and do an individual zap, kind of like yours.
Well, we email out of Follow Up Boss.
Which you can do here too.
Well, we email out of Outlook and it automatically goes into Follow Up.
Yeah, so in order to have that happen for everybody, I have to go in and set up a Zap for the Gmail people, for the Yahoo people, and all that kind of stuff.
So there's a connector for Gmail and Outlook and all that.
Yeah.
And what about getting things from Follow Up? So where do we put them?
Same
so
thing.
That they're in the
same thing. I'm gonna have to go through and we're gonna have to diagnose you with this is the type of Zap you'll need. If you get a referral lead from your best friend, then in Gmail it'll be like I star that person or I add a label to that person that's referral, and then it comes into the CRM. It's going to be a little different for everybody. It's going to be a little different for everybody.
Okay.
Or you could go in enter them by typing in their email address, name, and everything like that.
And we choose not to use this CRM and speak to our
Of course, I don't care. I really don't care if I use the CRM. I am in no way tied to this. Bill is in no way tied to this. We were just, Ron and I found ourselves having the same discussion for the last 4.5, 5 years, which is, I need to build my business. I need to build my business. I need to build my business. Where are your contacts? When's the last time you contacted them? Well, I emailed them 3 times after the open house, never heard back. Who's this person on your email list? I don't know. I can't remember. And we just couldn't do it anymore. We were doing y'all a disservice by not offering something like this. If you use a CRM, just keep it. And you like it, then just keep it. If you get a floor time lead off of this, we can just zap it to you in Wise Agent or in Follow-Up Box.
Can you tie this to whatever CRM you have?
Yes, absolutely you can. But the reality is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 60 agents use a CRM, because I was raised by Bill Baldwin, who just looks at his list. Anytime he's ready to send something, I print out his list of 900 people and he highlights who he's going to send stuff to. And then he writes them on a chalkboard and he says, oh, we need to email this person. And so it took us a long time to realize this was a need. This is how we could better support y'all. And you do not have to use it. Really have no, I'm happy. If you want to keep your MailChimp list and only send out through MailChimp, we're so happy to do that. We're so happy to do that. But we realized that there was something that we were missing, because it's not like Frank and I get a spreadsheet every Monday that says, these are my open house leads, can you update my MailChimp list? That doesn't happen. And so we're trying to make it so that on your Sunday afternoon follow-up, you're going in and entering them right after that, and then they get your next marketing piece.
One other question.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the past, certain people in the office have used different lead generation programs.
Yeah.
Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever. If you participate in some sort of lead generation product, can those leads be automatically imported into this?
Yes, they definitely can. I've already been testing it with the hard leads that come in on our listings. Very special kind of zap that we had to do. But yes, when you get a hard.com email lead, I have it figured out to where that automatically goes into your database. Yeah.
Do you know if everything from Top Producer can be exported and imported into there?
It can.
In the same format you have it in. So like in my buckets, will my warm leads roll over to warm, whatever you call it, group?
There'll be a group.
So it'll be a 1-for-1.
Yeah, and your tags too. Same thing for y'all.
What about all the notes? Because one of the things we have to change CRMs, and like if you go from Top Producer to Follow-Up Boss, Rhinos, or any others, your notes don't come. You have to go in and individually put all your notes. Is that, which is?
Yeah, look at this. This is an import field that we have, which is quick notes. That's really tiny. That doesn't do any good to show.
I get the idea.
But yeah, we have this thing called quick notes. Now I got to figure out how it's like limited. I think what you're going to do is we can only import all of the notes as one field. I'll clarify that.
That's still better than doing it in.
But yeah, this is the default import template from Real Estate Webmasters, and tomorrow the whole purpose of my call is figuring out how we should further customize the import to where we can get that sort of stuff. So quick notes.
But I think whereas you can import it, the question is, can it get exported? Like you can't export it. You can't export it out of Top Producer. You can't export it out of Follow-Up Boss.
What can you export?
All of your notes.
Your notes. I don't know.
Are not exportable.
I'll find out
Your
tomorrow.
fields are exportable, but your notes are not.
Frank, don't let me forget that I need to ask tomorrow about exporting notes, or what gets exported whenever you export your stuff.
Maybe
but yeah,
individual programs like Top Producer, we can contact them and ask how we export a particular word field.
I'm sure they've gone down that road to Follow-Up Boss.
Been there, done it.
Top Producer, I don't know how much information Top Producer exports. I don't know.
Well, we do, because we exported from Top Producer.
And it didn't do notes? Did it do transactions or anything like that?
No.
Did it do what?
Transactions? No? That's a high bar to clear. Okay, we'll find out. But you say no notes.
Interesting.
But you probably want referrals person, right?
I want everything that's in there
You want everything that's in
exportable in
there.
some field that I can import into this
Okay.
and assign a field.
Okay, I'll find out.
Does this have are you able to make up fields in this?
You can cannibalize fields. Yeah, you can, but I don't want to do that for everybody because then you can't do it for just one person. Yeah, we'd have to do it for, like, we would turn facts into something, for everybody. I don't know that I want to do that. I hear you. Last question.
Yeah, one of the issues that just as a general,
Yeah.
ask this question. One of the issues that we have when we move from one CRM to another is every contact went over under Becky's name, regardless of who put it in originally. And so we had to go back and then reassign contact names. And you go back, all of a sudden you got somebody that went into the database 2 years ago and you're going, wait a minute, did you know this person or did I meet this person?
No, that's easy. That's this very first thing. Assigned agent is right here. And then, like I said, the way we're going to do it, we're going to fudge the rules here, is it's going to be, Aaron Flores, Cheryl, Aaron Flores, Kathleen, Aaron Flores, Bradley Miller. You know what I mean? And we're just going to have to figure that out at some point.
How many fields does this have?
This has currently like 24, but I'm gonna add more.
Can you add as many as you want?
I think I can, yeah. I think I can, but I have to do it now. So I'm going to talk to them tomorrow about changing our rules about, whatever, having duplicates. And for those of you who are using a CRM currently and have specific concerns about what's going to go and what's not going to go, even if you still use both or whatever, we need to visit today or tomorrow or Monday or something like that. And I'll probably get into your CRM and see about exports and stuff. So I'm not concerned about you folks who use CRM. What the whole purpose of today was supposed to be, I guess, was if you don't use one and all you have is a MailChimp list and you don't really know what that looks like and who's on it or something like that, then there's a couple of things you need to go do. I'll just record a separate thing. Like, who knows how to download their transactions from, transactions from Backagent from the beginning of time? Like all your clients from Backagent, you know how to do that?
Every time I had a listing, I love my.
It's a little different. What I mean is, like, do you know how to go in and run a report in Backagent that says all of your clients, for all your transactions
From the beginning of time.
From the beginning of time, what they bought, their email address, their phone number, and everything like that? Okay. I'm going to send you all a video on that. Yes.
Oh, you are?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. One of the hardest things that we deal with, and that everybody on a CRM has to deal with, is we call them stages, you call them groups or what have you, is how should you categorize all of these leads? Because that is the most important thing.
Yeah,
and
that's about, that's going to be probably our, not next discussion, but the one after that is we basically get to decide that sort of stuff. But it's this, I'm running late. It does a heat sort of thing, and you assign that on your own.
Well, we will assign it, but one of the things is knowing what to do. Like, if you lose, if they buy something else, what do you then tag them because they bought something else? Because you really should revisit with them in a couple of years. Or there's some ongoing maintenance.
Yeah.
That
we're going to see everybody's import at the same time. We're going to get it all from you over the next couple of weeks. And so we're going to decide, together, just based on who you're going to identify on your list and the stages you have currently, and Jim has, and everything like that. And we're going to be able to customize what those are. If we want one to be, very cold follow-up in 2 years, that could be one. See what I'm saying? Okay, I'll just take all the rest of the questions. Just come talk to me, but I wanted to let everybody go. Very useful questions and information. I understand it's very different than what we're used to, but we all have the same goal, I promise you, okay? Thank you so much.
Thanks.